It's Week 10 of the National Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Giants and the Panthers, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is expanding across borders as we join you from Munich, Germany and fabled Allianz Arena. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they can certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped the shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Giants offense ready to go to work, and they'll do so behind Daniel Jones in his 6th season now out of Duke.
And he's coming off an injury-shortened season where he only played in 6 games, going 1-5 over that span, with just 3 total touchdowns on the year. But the Giants have a lot of confidence in him. They didn't draft a quarterback this year, and they're looking for him to bounce back and prove that last year was an anomaly.
Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Throwing Jones. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
And no excitement, unless you're on the defensive team of last week, in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. "47-yard punt, a return of 4. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 24 carries, 68 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. To throw here, Dalton. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. You talk about this Giant defense. They've certainly had their struggles against the run. At the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem? When they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
11 yards and a Panther 1st down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Now Dalton. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here's a handoff to Brooks running left. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. 3rd down from the gun, Dalton. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 44-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. Passing, it's Dalton. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Play fake. Here's Dalton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
So Dalton now. And he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. 4th down now. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The possession switching back to the New York Giants. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Right back to Singletary on second down. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on third down, Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And they will take over first and 10. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Dalton now to pass. That is caught. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. And Dalton to throw. And that'll be incomplete. The Panthers at 3-6 now on the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Here's Dalton. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The New York set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Singletary here running out of the gun. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. In motion left, Robinson. They'll look to throw now on first down. That's caught at the 25. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. A big play there for the Giants. 44 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Back to throw now on first down. That one taken in by Neighbors. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Giants. Malik Neighbors, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Throw left side, pulled in by Mingo. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. In motion left, that's Thielen. Andy Dalton. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Throwing, Dalton. He gets this one to Hubbard, complete. He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
This will be Dalton again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. You talk about this Giant defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it 2nd and 7. And they'll send the tight end in motion. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
He threw his 10th touchdown on the year last time they had it, and he'll look to keep it going here with a 1st and 10. Singletary to get the drive started. Gets past him at the 10. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, 1st down.
Now that's how you start a drive. Not only do you pick up a 1st down, you do it on a chunk play. Big yardage. And now you put a little bit of a dent in the confidence of the defense.
Stiff-armed him. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. 2nd down and 6 now. They go right back to Singletary. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete. 2nd and 10. A give up the middle to Singletary. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 6. On the counter, this is Singletary. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down, stopped at the Panthers' 39. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Off the play fake, Jones. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 12-yard line. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones fighting, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jones, that's complete. It's Neighbors. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Jones now. Off play action. This is caught. It's Robinson with a Giants touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Giants drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards for the score. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Miles Sanders now to return it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Dalton. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Here's Dalton. Throw out wide is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Well, let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Finding space at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Throwing Jones. That ball caught by Slayton. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Ball start.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. Amari Barno getting there to make the stop. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Motioning to the left is Robinson. Now Jones. Left side, he's got Robinson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. And this will be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics, he's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player.
Handoff on the option to Singletary. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Devin Singletary, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to widen their advantage. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Gano the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. They'll run the draw with Brooks and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Dalton. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Brian Burns able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And we'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. To throw here, Dalton. And that one too wide and incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield equally good.
And his kick is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense and running back Devin Singletary headed back onto the field. Now, he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 2nd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 40. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. He's got Bellinger. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Again, he'll drop to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this one is incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you back across the Atlantic to Orlando, as we say Guten Tag to our guys standing by. That's Jonathan Coachman. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple, and that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones had his hands on it but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. K'Lavon Chaisson, the former 1st-rounder, in there to get the sack.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll run straight ahead with Brooks. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
They'll try and run here with Brooks. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Holding offense.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Here's Dalton. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Brian Burns able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Dalton now to pass. Short throw there, caught by Thomas. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. It fights him off. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. The Giants offense and Daniel Jones set to take over again. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Still on his feet. Inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Devin Singletary with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point try good by Gano, and that'll increase their lead to 28. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Brooks. There's the stiff arm.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
And that's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
11 yards and a Panther first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Dalton bootlegs out. That is caught by Thielen. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, first and 10 at the 26-yard line. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Giants are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Pass interference. Defense.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on first and 10.
Up the middle with Brooks here.
Shifts by at the 15. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
I don't think Dalton liked the matchup there. He's going to call a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Fighting to stay upright inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
2 yards left on second down from the 9. Right back to Hubbard.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Play action now. Dalton.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown.
Chuba Hubbard.
A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Panthers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 34-yard line.
Back to throw. Jones.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
It's caught at the 10. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 57 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one onto the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Back to throw again.
Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Holding. Offense.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8.
And we'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw. Jones. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Daniel Jones, an 8-yard touchdown run, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
That's a tough one there defensively because look at the stops they got on 1st and 2nd down, and it was 1st and 2nd and goal. And then on 3rd down, they cover the receivers, but they leave an alley open for him to find, and he does. That is frustrating. You do almost everything right, and he still ends up in the end zone.
Gano the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Short throw to the tight end, Thomas. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Play action here with Dalton.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Panthers first down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
And it'll be Dalton again. Open man, once again, it's Thielen. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
The 44-yard line.
Passing, it's Dalton.
Throw left side, pulled in by Mingo.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
That's good for a Panthers first down.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Well, I'm not quite sure how he got away from that first tackler, but he won't even be able to get it back to the line of scrimmage there as the defense rallies behind him.
2nd and 16.
Dalton sets up play action.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
In motion left, that's Thielen.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton.
That one out wide and intercepted. And the Giants will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
Well, let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out.
He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
At the 31-yard line.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
And we'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down.
That is caught.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Singletary trying the left side. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It was Troy Hill that time in on the tackle.
2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Singletary again. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The Panthers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one may be his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
So Dalton now. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Dalton.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Over the middle, complete. It's Marshall. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Gets through, and now an opening. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
That's good for a Panthers first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 3.
At the 50-yard line.
From midfield here, Dalton. And that'll be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Andy Dalton. And now another one thrown incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield.
Darius Slayton and the rest of this offense about to begin their next drive.
Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
On the give, this is Singletary. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
The tackle made by Calebon Chason.
Brings up 2nd down.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down.
And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory.
169 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Here now a 3rd down and 8.
On the handoff, running left, Singletary. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th.
Now Jones. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty, and the Panthers will get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
2nd and 7.
Here's Dalton.
Checks this down to Hubbard.
So the completion good for just 3. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Now Dalton.
Short throw there, caught by Thomas. And he is going to have a Panthers first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Another chance for Dalton. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
Defense.
So instead of 4th down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Ball start. Offense.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. For Marshall, that's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone.
To throw here, Dalton.
Got a man, that's Leggett.
He takes it to the 15, a nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup.
Now 2nd and 3.
At the 15-yard line.
A give up the middle, Hubbard. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Dalton. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Dalton here from the gun. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
They'll try on fourth. Here's Dalton. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line.
Boy, 184 yards rushing for him now to this point. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
They'll run here with Singletary. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Giants, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they're going the wrong way, as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a late bye next week, which might be coming at the right time. And they'll be back in action in Week 12. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.